The Put Me in Coach podcast. All right, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I guess since we are talking, we're entering week 5, so we've got 4 games under our belts. We're officially a quarter of the way through the year.
Isn't that crazy? You wait all year for it, and then it feels like it's just flying by.
It's gone in a blink of an eye, and nothing is what you expected. And so, look, we've been right about some things. We've had some really good calls, and nothing set in stone, particularly this take that I'm going to get off here. I got to eat a little crow, no pun intended. The Baltimore Ravens look like ass, and I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. It's not looking good. We just got news this week that Lamar Jackson is going to miss 1 to 3 weeks with the hamstring. And let's be honest, their bye week is coming up in a couple weeks. He's not coming back till after the bye. Like, it is what it is.
Probably not.
This team looks awful. And I think I really underestimated how bad Zach Orr would have this defense, like how underprepared this defense would be under Zach Orr. I underestimated John Harbaugh, who, everybody in Ravens Nation has been beating the drum for a couple years now of like, this coach isn't elite. He's lost his fastball. He's lost his touch. Time to make some moves. And look, with this Lamar injury, they've got Houston this weekend. I think it's a winnable game. I want to get in a minute into like how I think they could fix this thing, but the O-line looks bad. I mean, they gave up 30 pressures and 7 sacks a couple weeks ago against Detroit in that Monday night game. It wasn't any better against the Chiefs this past week. It was bad against the Browns. It was bad against the Bills. It's just been bad. Derrick Henry's not in rhythm enough. He's fumbling the football, and Todd Monken's calling funky situational plays, man. Like that whole thing with Zay Flowers in week 1 on that reverse and a crucial 3rd down. Like, I just feel like the worst that could happen is happening. And I want to get your thoughts so far on are you panicked? Are you burying them? And like, did you expect to see this kind of football from them so far? Or are you as surprised as I am?
Man, it's a little bit of both. Funny enough, it's I'm not crazy panicked on them, and that's maybe a hot take this far into the season, but I have to look at it like this. Cincinnati's dead, let's be honest, and the Browns are completely out of it. So you're talking a 2-team race for the division. And the Steelers are nothing to write home about. They're as mid comes, right?
It's fake.
It's so fake. And your 3 losses come from an absolutely electric game against Buffalo, who looks like the best team in the league right now. Kind of an ass whooping by Detroit, who looks like a top 3 team in the league right now. And the Chiefs, who are inevitable, right? So your 3 losses are from 3 of the 5 best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, that's bad for your Super Bowl aspirations. That's bad for your playoff aspirations. But I do think, I guess, advancing in the playoffs aspirations, I should say, because I still think this team could very much win that division. I think all it's going to take is, kind of a second half rejuvenation from that defense, similar to last year, where they just started cooking. Zach Orr had that offense, that defense cooking second half of last year. I think they have to be, pretty aggressive come trade deadline time. They do. They need to bring in a piece to kind of rejuvenate either side of the ball, really.
I think O-line would be my hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. A good O-line is hard to come by.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, you go, poach somebody off of a dying team. But, so you get to this point where you're like, Lamar's still a top 3 quarterback in this league. I still believe that he's going to get them where they need to be. I think, and it could be very much, it could be super similar to, what we saw in Cincy last year, where, Burrow just had to keep, climbing the mountain, and he ultimately fell short. But I also think this defense is better than what, Cincy was offering last year. I think once Lamar gets back, I feel like they're just going to find a rhythm, and they're going to pop off like a 5, 6, 7 game win streak, and everybody's going to say, okay, wait, hold on, is this team back? And it's like, yeah, of course we're back. We were never really gone. We just played we didn't kill Buffalo when we should have, right? You know, all you have to do is finish that game and not let them back into it. And it's, you know, then you're 2-2, and is anybody freaking out? Not really. You know, Detroit's a good team. Detroit's got one of the best offenses in the league, and their defense is, you know, at least that night was hooping. You know,
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, you know, I think you guys and the Chiefs were in a very similar situation where, okay, we both need this win right now. The problem is that you guys played Detroit on a short week, and everybody knows about, you know, like the Honolulu flu that Chris Long always talks about, which is teams after they play Detroit usually lose because that's, you know, Detroit's an incredibly physical team. And we saw that pattern last year with teams after they would go play Detroit, they would almost always lose the week after. So you're talking short week, and you just played, you know, probably the most physical team in the league. That's a tough thing to answer, right? It's a really tough thing to answer, and it looked like that, right? They looked like they were not prepared for that game. So I think they can get it done. I mean, who do they play this week? The Browns? Is that what you said?
They play the Texans this week.
Oh, the Texans. That's right. Yeah, same thing.
It's winnable. It's winnable. They play the Rams next week.
Winnable.
I think you lose that game.
I think you lose that game too, but
yeah,
if you can, who's the backup? Do you know who's playing
Cooper Rush from Dallas?
Really?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Hey, Cooper Rush knows how to win a game though.
I think they can win. I think they can win one of those games. Yeah,
I think they could beat the Texans. I really do. I think they're a better team. I think if you can get your vets to step up, if you can get, you know, Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith to have, you know, really good, convincing games, you'll be fine. That offense is terrible.
Here's the lifeline. Well, there's two big. Everything you said, I agree with. I think there's two major lifelines I want to offer the Ravens here, and I'm going to be a little bit wordy, so give me a second. But
sure. The
first lifeline is the schedule. So we just talked about it, right? You got Houston this weekend. I think it's winnable. That's a coin flip game without Lamar, but I do think it's winnable. Then you've got the Rams next week. I think you lose that game. Then you go into the bye, and when you come out of the bye, you've got the Chicago Bears at home.
Win.
You've got to go to the Miami Dolphins.
Win.
You've got to go to the Vikings.
Probably a win.
You've got to go to Cleveland.
That's a win.
You get the Jets at home.
That's a win.
You get the Bengals at home.
That's a win.
You get the Steelers at home.
That'll be a good game, but that's probably a win.
You got to go to Cincinnati.
That's another win.
You host the Patriots.
That'll be a better game than people expect, but that should be a win if Lamar's back and healthy and everybody's healthy still.
And then you finish with a couple of tough ones potentially where you've got to go to Green Bay, you've got to go to Lambeau Field, and you've got to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of those games are winnable. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, then Packers shouldn't scare anybody.
But my point is like
the last 2 weeks.
My point is this team is fully capable out of the bye of going on enough of a heater to like not only make the playoff but win this division. And I do want to talk about something real quick, and I think Zach Orr might have been a bad hire by John Harbaugh, like on the defensive side of the ball. It's hard to live up to Mike Macdonald, but this guy's not even living up to like Matt Patricia right now, the way he's had this defense playing the last couple of years. However, I'm coming back with another lifeline for my Ravens homies and also for myself. Like a lot of this is just cope because I picked them to win the Super Bowl. But, we talked about this in our Ravens video preseason. Weeks 1 through 10, 30th in pass defense EPA per play, 32nd in big plays allowed, so they allowed the most big plays, 28th in yards per pass play allowed, and 19th in pressure percentage defensively. And then from week 11 on, first in EPA per in pass defense per play, EPA per play, and then first in yards per attempt allowed. So they did like 180 their defense after week 11, and I do think that you might see something like that again this year. However, I think it's got to come out of the bye. Lamar out of the bye, healthy, and Zach Orr turning his defense around out of the bye. I think that gives you a chance to like come in the playoffs hot and like win this thing still.
Yeah, if you rip through those, I actually, prior to even saying like I think they're gonna rip off like 5-6 wins, I had no idea the schedule was that cupcake. I think if you win all those, at the end of that run, you're like 7-3, maybe 6-4, and it's kind of like, does anybody care? Does anybody care that you lost to Detroit, Kansas City, and Buffalo? You know what I mean? It's like, again, it's like psychologically, it's like, oh God, that sucks for our aspirations to advance in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like that that sucks. But like, oh man, we couldn't beat the elite teams. But shit, I mean, who cares? The idea is to get to the playoffs. Anybody can win in the playoffs.
I think right now it's Super Bowl or bust for John Harbaugh's job. I think that's my concern. I do think that John Harbaugh is coaching for his job a little bit because, look, man, they've had some real cracks at this, and I do think that John Harbaugh has made some serious mistakes in
I agree.
assistant hires, personnel. It's just been really funky. But look, you got to give this offensive line some time to gel. I think the good news about Lamar being gone the next couple of weeks, and there really is no good news there, but get Derrick Henry back in rhythm, man. Like, just hand the ball to that tank. Let him get his groove back. Come out of the bye. Get in a dark cave with this coaching staff and go, what do we need to do? Even if you got to fire Zach Orr, figure it out defensively. And, let Lamar come back healthy. Let Derrick Henry, get in rhythm, and you got a chance. I think this team still has very much a chance as much as anybody. And, I'm with you. You were higher on Pittsburgh than I was this offseason. I was higher on Cincinnati than you were this offseason. Cincinnati's completely done. I know Pittsburgh just won the Ireland game and people are happy about them. I just don't believe in it big picture. I don't. I think the Baltimore Ravens still have a major shot at this. And
I do too. I don't believe in the Steelers at all. I think the if we're saying the quiet part out loud, I think there's a lot of trouble in Minnesota.
Yes, me too.
And that's one that we also got wrong. I thought, but it happens, right?
So far, we got to let this play out a little bit.
Agreed. But I bet John Harbaugh's a little pissed he gift wrapped Jesse Minter to his brother, because and that would be nice to have right now as your DC. But things happen. It happens. It is a bummer too, because we're sitting here saying, you're coaching for your job because this DC you hired, but it's like, man, the two before that, you had Jesse Minter, who's going to be an NFL head coach, let's be honest, and then you have Mike McDaniel, who already is a or Mike McDonald, who is a head coach, So
yeah, and real quick before I let you go here, and we'll sign off. You were never retaining him as your DC, guys.
No, that's got to stop. That's got to stop.
Yeah,
we let him walk.
And look, it was either you fired John Harbaugh and you hired him to be your head coach, or you let him walk and go get a head coaching job, because that was inevitable. And look, hindsight's 2020. Could I make an argument to you on this camera right now and be right that they should have probably fired John at that point and hired Mike McDonald to be their guy? Yes.
Yeah,
Could you justify firing John Harbaugh at that particular point? No. Absolutely not. There was no world where that was happening. So we got to stop with that revisionist conversation. John Harbaugh hasn't earned getting to keep his job, and they should have fired him for Mike McDonald a couple years ago. That wouldn't have made any sense at the time.
No, it's
ridiculous. Let's just hang in there, Ravens fans, and I'm there with you.
You'll be okay. You'll win the division. I'm so confident you're going to win the division. I'm so confident.
The comeback's going to be really fun, man. I think the comeback.
It'll be fake, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fake. I'm sorry. I don't think you're winning the Super Bowl just based on what I've seen with this team, but I do think you're winning the division.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, though. I just think that people will count them out kind of after the next couple weeks, and I think out of the bye they could go on a real fun heater of just tearing the league up. So. Yeah. I'll see you next time, brother man. We'll be back with a couple of episodes next week, and we'll start getting on now that you're moved more regularly. So comment, subscribe, guys. Go Ravens.
Bye.
Peace.